Hello everyone, my name is Brett Keane and I'm going to talk about one of the best actors that I think exist. I know that this actor for some reason has taken a lot of heat from the agnostic and atheist community due to the religion or belief system that they follow, which I think is completely and utterly retarded because this guy is not causing any harm, he's not causing any problems. But he's always been an exceptional actor, and I think that deep down in everybody that's ever watched the guy, they're going to think he's incredible, and it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise started out with a few movies where he didn't get like much attention and shit, and I'll go into that. The first movies he ever was involved in was Mary Griffin, 40 Interesting People. I have a list of stuff so I don't accidentally forget one of his great accomplishments. He also starred in Taps, which was an okay movie. Losing It, kind of a forgotten movie with Tom Cruise. And then the movie All the Right Moves and The Outsiders, the complete novel. He played one of the kids in the movie Outsiders. The Outsiders has always been a pretty popular book, and it's something that I read quite a few times whenever I was going to school and stuff. Tom Cruise did good in that movie and everything as a child star, but I think Risky Business really started like showing off his attraction and really letting him explore his acting and be able to show us that he can be funny and he can also be dramatic and he can also show us basically all the spectrum of emotions and stuff that an actor can do. Next, he ended up playing in a movie called Legend. I actually have this on DVD. My friend has it on VHS. She plans on, I think, getting a DVD of it. He plays a character named Jack who basically is involved in a situation where a unicorn has its horn cut off and causes like eternal darkness all over the world. And as a hero, he is going out to try to save the unicorns and also to be able to save this beautiful young woman that you'll probably be familiar with. She was the girlfriend of Ferris Bueller. I don't know if you remember that old movie. Attractive lady, even nowadays she doesn't look like she's aged much. I don't know her name. She's not that big of a significance in the movie business for me to remember. Sorry if she ever watches this. Okay, after Legends of the Fall, he also plays a movie called The Color of Money. Another fantastic movie that he does. I'm not going to go and tell you about every single thing. And as you all know, this is a movie that, this next movie I'm about to bring up plays on television all the time, edited quite a bit, who also stars Val Kilmer as well as a lot of other really good actors who didn't really make it super far, but they were good actors nonetheless, called Top Gun, where he plays a character named Maverick who is flying jets and he's trying to live up to his father's expectations, and he feels like there's some betrayal with the government about how the story of his father's death. And the movie's very action-packed. It's one of the first movies where you really get to feel like you're a part of a jet fight and all that stuff. So I thought it was pretty exciting. Good stuff. Got the whole romance and drama that people are into. After Top Gun, he plays in a movie called Cocktail, where he plays this very skilled and talented, charismatic bartender, where he plays a co-star next to this guy and stuff who seemed like he was okay in the 80s, but this guy kind of died out. He's never in the movies anymore. Don't even know his name, don't care. The next movie he plays in is with Rain Man, where he and Dustin Hoffman plays his long-lost brother who is autistic. It's very humorous, it's very dramatic, there's a lot of thriller to it and suspense, but it also has a lot of, I mentioned drama, but there's a lot of very sad moments in the movie and stuff, a lot of moral dilemmas. Rain Man's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, as well as, of course, Top Gun. After that, he plays in a movie called Days of Thunder that's a lot like Top Gun, but this time you take the jets out and you give them a race car, and there's a lot of really good actors in that particular one as well. All these movies that I've mentioned are fantastic. and I think people should probably watch. But I did fail to mention one movie before Days of Thunder and Rain Man that I don't know if you'd want to watch unless you're into this kind of shit, depressing stuff, called Born on the 4th of July, where Tom Cruise plays a soldier who is wounded in battle, and then basically his whole life is fucked up. He's basically spit on and shit on because he was involved in the war. And it's a very serious movie. It's not laid back. It's not fun like the other movies that he plays in. He plays a real type character in this, not just your typical hero. So it's kind of hard to watch him in. After Days of Thunder, he played in a movie called Far and Away, which I have on DVD. I have a lot of these movies on DVD. Far and Away is about a guy from Scotland or Ireland or something like that who his father dies and he wants to recover some land and some property. Back in those days, if you had land and you had property, then you were considered a man. You were considered someone of high stature. This is also the second movie where he stars with Nicole Kidman. I believe it is because of her roles in movies with Tom Cruise why Nicole Kidman now has a career in movies as she does. After Far and Away, he plays a very powerful lawyer in the movie called A Few Good Men, starring Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, as well as, of course, the powerful general, which would be Jack Nicholson. And, of course, there's a great deal of staff. He also co-stars alongside of Demi Moore, who also is a great female actor. I've seen her in G.I. Jane. I've seen her in other movies. Unfortunately, when she first started out, like most women in the movie business, she was used as basically a cute girl that superheroes could fuck and stuff. But now she has kind of built her own identity in the movie business, unlike some women, and now people are able to watch her where she's the main character, such as movies like The Jury, also co-starring Alec Baldwin. Okay, so then after A Few Good Men, which was a fantastic dramatic movie, court drama, he does a movie where he plays a lawyer co-starring Gene Hackman in The Firm. Gene Hackman's running this firm and Tom Cruise gets into it. It turns out there's a lot of corruption and bullshit. Another movie right after The Firm that Tom Cruise was involved in was called Interview with a Vampire, where he stars as Lestat. However, he's not the main character. The little girl that stars in the movie is also the girlfriend of Spider-Man in the movies nowadays. I never remember her fucking name, so I apologize. The movie also has Brad Pitt in it, who's really, really good. Also has Christian Slater and a few other fantastic actors. Let me scroll up the screen because I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the movies I've watched that I thought was good. Jerry Maguire is pretty good. It's got I believe his name's Louis Gossett Jr., I think. Or Cuban Gooding Jr. Yeah, it's Cuban Gooding Jr. That's a pretty good movie. It's interesting to watch. But it's not like the other Tom Cruise movies. It's a little slower, a little weaker, but it's still got a good storyline where he plays an agent who's trying to get people on the field. After this, he starts getting into a line of sequels such as Mission Impossible 1 all the way through 3, which were all fantastic movies. I believe that the first one was good, had a lot of good stars in it, but it didn't really start picking up for Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible till Part 2, where John Woo is now directing the film. As you know, he directed movies like Face Off with Travolta, Nicolas Cage, and so on. Well, so far, we got the Mission Impossibles, and he did the American Tribute to Heroes, which I can give two shits about. Stanley Kubrick, Life in the Pictures, didn't give a fuck for that. Vanilla Sky starred also Kurt Russell, a small part in it. It was a pretty fair movie, had a really shocking and surprising twist in it. A lot different than your usual Tom Cruise movies. That's one thing I like about Tom, is he's willing to take some fucking risk. And then, as you know, folks, and I'll mention a few more movies, there's a lot of them and stuff, but I'm going to mention just the top ones that I think are good. Minority Report, where he plays a cop who arrests criminals before they actually commit the crime, because they have a way of telling the future if someone's going to commit the crime or not. The Last Samurai, for some reason, didn't get that great of reviews. People didn't care about it, but I thought it was another beautifully put together movie. We've got a bunch of garbage here that he's been interviewed in and crap. War of the Worlds, I thought that was pretty good. It's a good remake of the old movie, War of the Worlds. A lot of great special effects, a lot more they were able to do with the story now that they had the resources and means to be able to do it. Another good movie that people should go ahead and check out. Let's see, yeah, Lions for Lambs, that was an okay movie. The newest movie that I've watched with him is Tropic Thunder, where they completely um, put a costume on him where he doesn't look like he used to anymore, where he looks bald and fat and everything else, and he's really funny. Co-starring with Ben Stiller, what's that other, Nick Nolte, many other great actors and stuff. Also, Robert Downey Jr. plays in it. Fantastic movie. Just after getting out of the movie Iron Man, he's now starring in a silly comedy and all that. The movie is very fucking funny. It also has Jack Black in it. If you're a fan of Jack Black, you should watch that. Tom Cruise only spends about 10 minutes in the movie, but every time he gets to talk or act, it's like pure stimuli. He's totally blowing away the scene and shit, as usual. So that's it, folks. That's Tom Cruise. A lot of great movies, a lot of shit. It's worth it to collect any movie that's got Tom Cruise in it. He always gives his best. He's always great and everything at what he does. Thank you, folks. You've been listening to Brett Keane.